Alright, today we are going to be jumping back into the Bitcoin price action, taking a look at what we need to be watching out for on the short term, as well as why I'm so extremely bullish on the altcoin market and why I believe we are about to teleport to the upside for those riskier assets. And before we do jump into the TA, I gotta give a big thank you to everybody in the community for 500 subscribers. Doing YouTube is something I've dreamed of ever since I got addicted to this website back in 2010, and you guys are the reason that I do and will continue to upload daily and try my best to give you guys valuable information when it does come to Bitcoin, altcoins, technical analysis, trading, macro takes on the economy, all of that good stuff that I will continue to relay on this channel as I learn more myself. So yeah, thank you guys for that milestone being hit, but with that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into the Bitcoin price action on the hourly time frame here. You can see we do have a nice uptrend of higher highs and higher lows. We did get a nice pullback here super locally, but this is actually healthy for the chart because we had vectors to the upside to fill those imbalances before continuing the rally is actually a very bullish thing. I know this is not a local top because we did not grab our sweep level sitting up higher, as well as what we did grab, we did not grab convincingly. You can see these highs are still at about the same level. We are still building that liquidity to the upside. So that's really good to see here. Locally, we are getting a nice bounce off that hourly EMA, and I would not be surprised if this is in fact your low here. Although for all my traders out there, I would not be longing any of this price action right now. The place to long was down here when we got that nice failed auction on a bigger time frame sweep level with a nice pullback to the golden pocket. This was a perfect long entry. For now, we're just still kind of in the middle of a range, and I would be waiting to potentially even take a short higher up here at the sweep level. But as I always say, you got to know what you're doing if you are going to be trading, and it needs to be structurally and technically sound to enter a position, and your risk to reward needs to be properly set. And you should probably expect to lose that position because I do not expect Bitcoin holds a sweep of this level for very long at all. If anything, potentially we sweep it, come back down here to test point of control, maybe sweep this low, or just test value area high before continuing on upwards. Jumping out to the daily time frame here, you can see this range we have been creating and this volume profile of the range over here on the right. We are about to escape, and when we do escape this range, one of two things can happen. We can either have a swing failure to the upside, or it can just go completely vertical, and I would not be surprised to see the latter. This value area high of the range where the volume ends is sitting at this blue line coming across here at the highs. So that 72K level, if we are able to get past, backtest as support, this is where you do start going vertical up to potentially six figures plus, depending on what the stock market is doing. And the stock market is another thing that actually gives me hope that we are going to squeeze up to those higher levels of a top potentially coming in that I covered in my last video. But we do still have this bearish divergence forming on the weekly time frame, so let's make sure to watch this. If we do start making higher highs and higher lows on the RSI, we still want to be staying vigilant in the markets. Jumping over to my level identification chart for Bitcoin, we can see that there is a lot of resistance coming in at that sweep level. I said could potentially be a short. For you to take that short, you need to sweep this level on a 15-minute, 30-minute hourly candle close, getting back under, and then you can short the sweep level with your stop at the top of that wick. You would also want bearish order flow coming up into this value area high and point of control of our previous day back here. You want to see bearish order flow coinciding with that to validate that trade, as well as a nice 30-minute or hourly bearish RSI divergence would also be really nice to see if you were taking a short there. In my opinion, the fact that we are already coming down and filling these imbalances to the downside, I don't think I'm going to be trying any shorts at this level. I do think it is more likely we go ahead, backtest this as support, and then we have no resistance above us after that. We have a sweep level at all-time highs, right? Of course, there is going to be a lot of liquidity sitting at these all-time highs, so a deviation out of it and then getting back under is something to be watching out for, as well as we do have some naked value area highs coming across here. But for the most part, there's really no resistance after you get through these levels here, and this is why I do expect Bitcoin and the altcoin market to kind of just teleport up here once we do start breaking through that 71.5, 72K level. Jumping over to Ethereum now, you can tell this chart has continued to outperform Bitcoin, and I have no reason to believe it won't continue to outperform Bitcoin for the rest of the cycle until the whole market is topped. Once again though, the time to be getting in longs was this backtest of the golden pocket after we had that liquidity grab during the ETF announcement. But unlike Bitcoin, I don't think there is any reason to short ETH right now. If you were going to short an asset as maybe a hedge position, that sort of thing, your confluences for that are on Bitcoin. Ethereum has really no resistance above you, except for potentially previous bull market volume levels. If we were to take a range of the top of this bull run, we can see that we do have value area low, point of control, and value area high sitting up at these levels I'm marking out right now. We are clearly already through the value area low, so a back test of this on a weekly time frame could happen. I would be watching out for something like that, and it's why you shouldn't just be longing right now. But the point of control we have already tested once, so a second tap of that is likely to break through, potentially back test the support, and then you're looking at value area high would be your only kind of volume level of resistance on Ethereum. And I actually expect us to not find much resistance there, and for us to also backtest this and go into full price discovery, which is again another case to where your altcoin market is just going to teleport when this happens. Oh, and I should also mention on this hourly time frame we were just looking at, we do also have a hidden bullish divergence. You can see here higher lows on price, lower lows on RSI. That is a really bullish thing to see. Now let's talk about these altcoins a little bit more directly. Looking at total 3, you can see the altcoin market is slowly trending upwards in big accumulation right now, and I believe once this golden pocket right here we are currently testing gets broken is when there is violent repricing and we teleport to the upside, where you do get these 10 to 20 30x gains across the board in the altcoin market. So whether we just blow through it or we go ahead and back test this, during this week, I do believe once we conventionally do start closing candles above this golden pocket is when you are going to start flying into new highs for this cycle. And once you get above this, there is really no resistance for another 50% higher until you get up into value area high of the last bull market range. And that will of course be the big test. Is the altcoin market going to find resistance at this level and top out there for the cycle, or are we going to do a bullish back test and go into complete price discovery on the altcoin market? And this is something we will just have to be watching the charts closely to figure out as time goes on. But as of right now, we are certainly very close to when those altcoins are going to start going ballistic. So yeah, I really could not be more bullish on the altcoin market currently. Now let's go ahead, jump into more traditional finance. Looking at the dollar here, you can see the dollar has continued to come down, so that's always good to see. Now we just want to see if we are going to backtest this back into support and create kind of a double bottom within this range here, or if we are going to go ahead and actually backtest this as resistance and head all the way down to our macro range lows down here. And of course, I am hoping for the latter because the dollar is inversely correlated with risk on assets, such as crypto. Last but certainly not least, this is something that is very important to take note of. The S&P has in fact closed through the golden pocket and certainly does not look bearish right now. I do have one level I am going to be watching out for, which is this sweep level I've put in on the charts. It could make sense that they're just trying to grab liquidity. Maybe we do a 786 backtest, and then this does in fact turn out to be bearish. So we are not completely out of the woods yet. This is still a good high, and we do not want to swing fail this level here and come back under. That would actually be a massive warning sign, especially if we do start closing back under previous lows down here. If we just come up here and backtest golden pocket into support and then go back up to all-time highs, that's no problem at all. Of course, we just want to be watching this closely to make sure that the S&P is not actually rolling over here. But so far so good. We have been ripping to the upside on the S&P, which is great to see. And with that being said, this is where I end the video and tell you guys to join my Discord. Links in the description down below if you do have any questions about anything I talked about today. But with that being said, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.